Hello guys, welcome everyone for another VOD. Today we're going to be talking about mines map in World of Tanks. So let's get started. From base 1, how to play mines. If you are playing... Okay, this is the medium line, mainly. This is the heavy line, mainly. And the middle is going to be medium lines and light tanks, line. So... it doesn't mean you're not gonna see heavies in the middle, but yeah, in overall, this is how it works. How to start on mines from base 1. Initial positions as a fast heavy tank. Mobility. Medium tank with mobility. The initial position will be starting at G4. You play G4. Why? Because there's R2 will be, and this position will be really good against RTs to play. When you play this position, a passive position is to counter middle. You shoot and farm tanks going up the hill. Alright? Now, this is the passive position. Initial position. What about if you are playing super heavy? Super heavy, follow this blue marker. The super heavy tank, you're gonna do such as Mouse E100, things like this. Tank destroyers with like, I don't know, with armor. You can go in and play this way and get to the 8th line, 7th line, such as it's a heavy line already. So you just go in like this and play this area here. That's the super heavy. But what about if you are playing a fast heavy tank or medium tank, fast heavy medium tank? This is the first initial position for it. The second initial position for the fast medium heavy line with armor too. You go and follow this yellow line is the second line. You go like this and get to this area. This position here, this allow you to double push or use the pushes and get some action going on here and just have some targets for you. Now, that's 3 lines. But what about the 1-2 line? 1-2 line is mainly a medium line. Mainly, you can go in as initial position with something that doesn't have any armor. You go in and follow the red line will be you're gonna be like this. You're gonna start initial position like this and go like this and take H1 H2. This initial position for medium tanks has no armor or in general, but is it recommended? I wouldn't do it myself, but yeah, my favorite plays on mines from the side is gonna be like this initial position. This initial position if I'm playing super slow tank, and this initial position if I'm playing fast tank, such as medium or heavy. Now, what's your rotation will be if you are playing each position? If you are playing the red line here, you pretty much might get pushed and you might die in this position. This is why it is not recommended for me at all, and I don't do it. But what if you're playing the green line here, initial position at G4? Let's say most of the time you're staying in this position, you're not gonna move anywhere at all because it's gonna allow you to farm damage a lot here, and especially if you have 1-2 line control, you can stay here as much you want, just play it well. But when would you rotate from this position? If you are losing 1-2 line and you're playing G4, you need to run away. How are you gonna run away? You're gonna run like this. This is your rotation will be from it, is going in from this position. Oops, I deleted this by mistake, but it's okay. You're gonna move from G4, running away like this, and go up like this, and come up here. This is your rotation will be. That's when you do it, only when you're losing 1-2 line. You cannot stay here, so you need to run away like this and go up like this to get safe and just defend base after that. Now, what about the hill? When do I take the hill? You don't go for the hill after all from the beginning. You can play the middle here instead, but usually I don't do it too. I'll play here first, see what's going on. Later I can rotate here. Here R2 will be a big target on this area, so that's why I don't do it. Medium tanks. If you're playing medium tanks, heavy tanks, this is what you should do personally. I would never recommend going up the hill from the beginning. If you want to do it, you need to make sure you do it and communicate with your team and push up the hill like this. When you push up the hill, you want to push it like this. Follow the black line like this. So that's it. When you do it, if you communicate with your team, if you, let's say 5 medium tanks together, you agree to go in here. So now this initial position, we're done with it. About the heavies, super heavies, you play here with super heavies, there's nothing to do. Here, this initial position, you get nothing to do. Pretty much you're playing this position all the time to counter the hill and counter whatever going on here. That's how you play mines. Pretty much mines is one of the maps that is really small, should never be for tier 10 at all, and should be for tier only 8 max, in my opinion. Why? Because the map is very small. Now, let me show you what I mean with all these ideas and positions in general. Tank destroyers will be sitting in, most of the time initial position for them will be here, 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 or here in base. Why I'm saying this? Because tank destroyers pretty much on this map, especially non-armored ones, have nothing else to do besides this. Small map, such a small map. So yeah, this is how tank destroyers will work on this map, pretty much. And you can go 1-2 line with tank destroyer, but that's gonna be gameable if the enemy not pushing it. You're fine to do this, but I wouldn't recommend it at all. Let me show you an example about some initial positions in the battlefield. So you're going to your initial positions, we just mentioned earlier. That's your initial position. You just wait for it, counter the hill, and counter anything in the middle, try to be here. Just like this. Now there's another trick is, if your team took the hill completely, you can go aggressive from the beginning of the game to this and use it as initial position. That's only you do it when your team take the hill. You come here, hold on, and try forcing anything here and start farming it. Yeah, so you make sure your team won the hill, and if they took it, especially from the beginning of the game, that's initial positions already. This is the second initial position. You do it with fast tank, no matter what. And this is the area where you stop with your super heavies or slow tanks. This is where you play. But if you are fast enough, you can either play there or you can come in straight to your initial position and use it here. It's gonna be a really good position. I do it sometimes. It depends on the matchmaking too. When I say what I mean with matchmaking is like, I mean, if there's RT, it's gonna be painful a little bit, but still, you can use it. This position here will allow you to counter everything here and up the hill here, and you know, just a good position can be useful too as initial position. This is the third initial position that is kind of not recommended, but it's very possible to do and play, is right here. Especially if the enemy try to push 1-2 line, you can kind of stop them and hold this line. And if they ever do try to push it, then you're gonna be fighting here, and hopefully you're not gonna be by yourself and some cover will be behind you. So yeah, but let's think about what do you do next if there's nothing on the 1-2 line. You stay here? No, your rotation will be from here is going G1 and try moving forward and try to find out any infos about 1-2 line or any targets to start working on immediately. This is your rotation will be is coming in up here, and you just need to be careful when you come up here and just find out. Usually you're gonna find some stuff here and medium tanks or tank destroyers or anything behind this rock and clear it out. So yeah, slowly you're just gonna work it out from here, and also you need to be careful from this position because if the enemy tap the hill, pretty much G1 can be exposed for the hill and you can get shots from it. So yeah, that's your rotation, and hopefully it's gonna be something else can be useful in your battlefield. Okay, let's start base 2, which is the other side on mines. Same thing almost, it just complicated because there's not much to do from the other side like this side. I feel this side has a lot of advantage than this side when it comes in the rotations especially. Anyway, from this side there's 3 initial positions to take is as a medium tanks, as again if you communicate with your team you can go in and push the hill right away from the beginning just like this. And go up the hill and kind of brawl and take it all. But not always you take the hill, so it's risky to trust it even taking the hill from the beginning. Usually I don't. However, I think this initial position is going in like this and try to go all the way left here. How do you do this? You don't do it with anything, but you do it with only fast tanks such as medium tanks with armor and heavy tanks with armor that has speed and mobility, right? If you're playing super heavy, you go in and follow the blue line and just go either middle here. If your team winning the hill, they took the hill already, you come with your super heavy and kind of play this rocks here. When you play this rock here, you're gonna be RT save, kinda, because RT will have this hill against to, you know, it's gonna be really hard for RT to hit you. You play super heavies in the middle here and use these rocks and try to brawl the middle, and you can use between the rocks here. Just be careful about everything else in the back, such as tank destroyers. That's it. When do you play the rocks? Only, or play here, hold on with your ever fast heavies, is usually you do it when you win the hill. If your team took the hill, if you lost the hill, you usually just stay here and fall back down at C6 or D5 right here and play the area against all this. But that's two positions. Initial positions can work too, is going straight from the beginning with super heavy and playing here, right here, to brawl enemy heavies. And you can use this building against this area and this position we mentioned earlier, remember it. You can use this building against this and you can just brawl here and hold this line and play against the heavies. Now, there's another thing which is initial, fourth initial position. That is going to be very useful for tanks or doesn't have armor, such as medium tanks doesn't have armor, Leos or things like that. Your initial could go like this, the red. The reason I'm gonna make it red marker because it's kind of very risky to play. You need to be very careful when you do it. You come in like this and use this rock. There's a position here and the pushes here you can use, and from this initial position you can put shots on enemy targets in the back that get lit usually. And the rotation from here will be running away or staying in, usually falling back all the way back here. But usually tank destroyers will be in the back playing like this, or medium tanks doesn't have any armor, play like here, where the red line, let's say, or the red marker, pretty much because the map is small. However, that's initial positions. But what would you do if you want to push 1-2 line? There's another idea about pushing aggressive 1-2 line from this side specifically, with your fast tank, such as a heavy tank, you know, with armor, really fast, enough to go and do it. You can go and straight like this from the base and straight 1-2 line and you send it. Now, do you do this all the time? Is the most aggressive play you want to do on 1-2 line, but is it gonna work? It's very gameable. But yeah, there's another thing you can do is push an aggressive 1-2 line from this side to enforce the middle and make them not play middle at all. And yeah, would you do it all the time? No, it's not really. Especially if you win the hill, which is you don't know if you're gonna win the hill. But yeah, I wouldn't do it, but you could and possible to do it. Let me show you this position in the battlefield and hopefully you will understand what I mean. So this is your initial position. We will start like this. Usually I do it all the time because I don't guarantee if my team gonna take the hill or win the hill. So I just take it right away. You might take one shot, it doesn't matter, but if you do it from the beginning, enemy wouldn't expect it at all. And it's also a good position to counter middle in general. Now your rotation will be, if you will know from this position what's gonna happen. If your team wins the hill, your rotation will be just pushing forward, and most of the time you need to make sure these heavies went down. You need to do it safe way, like left side, go wide left side and come like this, and you just play the middle here and try to finish whatever in the middle or try to take the hill in general. That's your rotation. Most of the time, you might need to stay in that position as initial position. And the second initial positions will be like on the 1-2 line, let's say, if you want to do this. This is actually popular position to use against, or with, sorry, like tank doesn't have armor, Leo 1s or things like that. And if you're playing like, let's say, fast heavy, fast medium tank, it has enough speed, you can just keep sending it 1-2 line. And as I said, this is not recommended. This is kind of a gamble move from the beginning to push just like this. You might take a lot of shots here. It's very gameable. It's not very recommended, but most of it, sometimes it works. It depends on the matchmaking, and if you think it will be, this matchmaking will be like a very like easy and will allow you to do this kind of initial position or aggressive play from the beginning of the game. From here you can go all the way red line, and especially if if the enemy has the hill, then you need to be careful, but if not, then you're good. You just start working on all targets around here in front of you. Then later you just keep moving on and go up here and clear enemy base. Pretty much. Hopefully this is another thing you can do properly, and hopefully it works for you. Now before I end it, we forgot about light tanks maybe you think, but not really. I didn't forget at all. Light tanks, you're either gonna go hill straight, and most of the time meh, and also you might just go 1-2 line and give a spot and you not run away. Light tank is pretty much for this tank map, sorry, is just, you know, not really anything you can do besides going up the hill or going 1-2 line, right? So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks a lot for watching this again. Hopefully it's gonna improve a good gameplay or give you an idea about some positions you didn't know about on this map. Specifically, it's not a perfect map as a tier 10, but in tier 8 should be really perfect. But yeah, again, this map is small and should be at least max for tier 8. However, thanks a lot for watching again. If you liked what you're watching, please give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and follow us on twitch.tv/German_Intelligence and all other links in the bottom of the VOD. Hopefully I'll catch you next time or another VOD, guys. Peace and take care and have a good one all. See you.